Okay, welcome to our end of season review here at Salisbury FC. I don't know why I'm presenting, he's the main man, but hey, here we are in the media team. I've been flung in at the deep end. So we thought we'd meet up, have a bit of a chat. The dust has settled on the car park as I drove by and on the season. So here we are, looking back at what's happened in the 24-25 season, was it?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, just doing the maths quick. By the way, I've got a terrible memory, and hence some notes.
Not the only one. He's not the only one.
This lad's doing it on the fly.
Yeah, I didn't realise.
We'll see how when it goes for Toby.
Yeah.
So a few weeks since the end of the season, you keep yourself busy, Toby?
Yeah, playing cricket, finishing off my my last bits of university work over the last couple of weeks, but yeah.
Okay, if I don't ask you where you play cricket, Pete Robinson's going to bother me, so where have you been playing?
Broadway and Horton Cricket Club, just outside Ilminster in Somerset.
Yeah, not that interesting.
He lost at the weekend though, but he made a 50, so he was happy.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
It's all about the team though, Toby.
Well, yeah. But it's selfish sport.
Andy, you're here at the club pretty much every day.
I feel like I've
time.
been here full time since the end of the season.
It gets busy,
more so
doesn't
than
it?
usual, yeah.
It gets very busy.
Season tickets on sale, selling well. New system, people seem to like it, which is good.
Good.
People finding it nice and easy to retain and reserve their seats that they had last season, as well as booking their places on the terraces too.
Yeah, I remember my first season here, 8-9 years ago. I remember thinking, season's done. Feet up. Not like that at all, is it?
No.
It's a very, very busy time.
No, and people clamouring, when's the retain list coming out? It's not something the club's always done.
No, I don't. In fact, in my time, I don't think we ever really did it. Certainly not early on.
There was one done last season, but that was towards the end of May that came out.
Gotcha.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It's non-league's very different to Football League. Everyone we had last year was end of contract was coming. We've got the two players that we know signed on. I'm sure there will be more news in the not too distant future. Not that I know anything, so don't come asking.
I got the similar complaints, but I think same as me, you're very open. The club's very open as we can be with the information. But obviously, sometimes you've got to keep things under your hat. Sometimes because negotiating, the lads mostly are on holiday anyway. Nearly every non-league footballer's on holiday at the minute. So
if you want to go and see Josh Summerson's Instagram, they are IB-ing it up.
Yes, they're having a very good time. So we're talking about, you've set a few questions out here. Overall review of the season. So, we put a few points down. What is your overall thoughts on this season that we've just had?
Well, I thought I'd go with a fairly digital response of overall, I think it was a success.
Yes.
I said at the start of the season, if we stayed up on goal difference, that's success.
Yes.
All day long. We stayed up by a point. So in fact, we overachieved.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Definitely. I think we all knew it was going to be a tough one, didn't we? But we had a very nice start the season, which probably helped us through towards the end. But I think a few people got a bit excited and maybe expected a little bit more. But
and I think
we survived with that.
And that's exactly what I've written down here. After the first 10 to 15 games, I thought, we were all right here. But then our lack of kind of resource and wage bill started to show as the injuries started to pile up. Yeah. And we were down to beyond the bare bones. And that's when it really started to show.
We weren't often able to put the same 11 out consistently Saturday, Tuesday. It probably made things a lot more difficult than if we were to have the same group of 16 players available every week. Injuries and the amount of goalkeepers we've had this season and all that sort of thing do definitely have their effects on it.
Yeah, we didn't have the luxury of a large squad at all, did we? So it was kind of putting out what we could sometimes, and it wasn't always. Honestly, it wasn't always top entertainment either, was it? Unfortunately, especially here, every time we seem to have a good crowd, seem to have a lull. We certainly had a lot of very good away games though, which I think most of. I've written down some memories of the season, and I think they're nearly all away games. So any home-only supporter will have missed out on that, wouldn't they?
They would have done. We did have some turgid, I think, is a good word for some of our home, but also some of our away performances. Places like Horsham, we played really well for the first 25 minutes and then kind of took our foot off the pedal and couldn't secure a win against. Was that the third game in a row that we drew with 10 men? It was certainly in that sequence of 3 games where we drew against 10 men.
I don't remember playing Horsham.
Yeah, no, we didn't play Horsham. Hornchurch, yeah. Horsham, we are playing next season.
Yeah.
Very excited about that.
You see where my brain's already at.
I'm a former Horsham resident, so I've been trying to get them in a cup for a long time. So looking forward to that one. great support all season as well.
Brilliant support. Seemed to be that every time we did a shout to come and pack the Mac or United in white.
They weren't always successful games.
No.
But yeah, the crowd did answer, and hey, that support does make a difference.
Yeah, it does make a huge difference.
Yeah, certainly throughout the season. I'm going to be a bit soppy. I'm going to say working with these two boys has been an absolute pleasure.
He's done
this
us over
season.
there, Tobes. He's done us over.
Honestly. Obviously, and we need to cover this because I get asked this every game. People come up to me, and it's not helping that I'm main presenter here, and say, "Oh, I thought you were leaving, Ian." Yeah, I did, and I'm not here during the week. This man takes up the donkey work now and gets it all done, but does a grand job doing it. And people thought we were against each other for a while, didn't they?
Yeah.
People kept coming up to us and saying, "Oh, Andy's walked in, so don't care." You very graciously invited me to carry on and help out. I was reluctant at first, partly because I was kind of cutting ties and moving on. I was always going to come and support them, I've got to say. But partly because I wanted to give you space as well to go and do your thing. I eventually said, yeah, go on then, because I knew I'd miss it. And we teamed up, and then we had this lad.
Yeah. What was your first game, Toby?
My first game was a
St Albans
3-2. No. It was a 3-2 win in the league against Chippenham.
Oh, okay.
And that was a good day. It was a sunny day. It was in, I think, mid-September, I want to say.
This is why we write things down.
5-goal thriller. I think there was a lot of late goals that game. I think maybe it was a Hedges brace, but that was my first game, and then
and then you started getting excited at St Albans away.
Yeah.
Toby's got a special celebration. You can't see it because he mainly does Twitter, but when we score, Toby does this.
Excited arms, yeah.
Yeah. See, he's quiet but animated.
Yeah, well,
I'm not the same. I am animated, but not quiet.
It's normally because you're on your radio broadcast, and I'm trying to show my excitement without interrupting too much.
People aren't going to hear you over him.
No, that is very true.
I'm usually screaming and falling down in my chair like that as I'm just getting rather excited. As I said, we didn't have the luxury of a large squad, but it's real character shown at times, especially grinding some results out, which maybe won't get the headlines we're about to talk about, but grinding some of those draws out, odd points here and there, important.
One of those that might stick in mind is when we went to Aveley, we had a lone player who played one game for us, whose name escapes me right now. McCormick from Swindon. There you go, look, this way doesn't he know? In from Swindon for one game, never played at that level before.
Yeah.
We absolutely, Josh Summerton last minute equaliser for a 2-2 draw. I didn't go to Cheshire, but I expect that was a similar kind of ground out point.
We weren't, it wasn't our best display of the season, but we stuck in there for 90 minutes, and actually it was an added time. I think Hedges got that last minute
similar
equaliser.
to the Mbappe goal.
Yeah, very similar.
So, game of the season. This is a big one.
Should we start with
let the young man start. Go on.
I was split between two. I've gone for the one I didn't think you two would have picked because it wasn't actually a win, and that was Dorking away in October when we drew 3-3, and I think there was. Have you picked that one?
He's got it. Picked two more as well. So I knew that one.
That's the one I went for, because that 2 minutes after we took the lead in, deep into stoppage time, was
pure
pandemonium. I'd never actually seen anything like that at a football game before.
Yeah.
What was that? Owen Dorr, Josh Hedges.
I think
Josh Hedges,
Silver,
wasn't it?
No,
Josh Hedges, Silver,
and
then
it?
Hedges,
Yeah.
87.
Oh no, Owen Dorr hit the bar, didn't he?
Yes.
Owen Dorr hit the bar, and then it was nudged in.
Yeah.
Ronan Silver tapped it in, didn't he?
Yeah.
We're playing.
And Jordan
man down as well. 2-0 down against a team with a significantly larger budget.
Yeah.
87 minutes, I think we get the penalty to get one back.
Yeah.
And then that Hedges finish to put us 3-2 was so good.
From the
the touch,
where Jordan raced onto the loose ball, low front post. This one went wild.
Yeah, when that first goal went in, we both. I can't remember what you said, but we started to believe.
Yeah.
It was just like, I think I said something like, if we turn this around, this would be shocking for them.
Well, didn't we have someone on WhatsApp us on the radio saying, "Oh, the game's done."
Yeah.
And we got one back, and he kind of like replied and said, "Oh, maybe not." And then we got the second and equalised, and we're like, "Well, that's good enough."
Yeah. Never ever leave us off the game.
Whether
you're listening on the radio or whether you're in person, never leave a Salisbury game early. And I've said that for years.
Yeah. It was a strange feeling on the way back because I didn't know whether to feel buzzing that because at 2-0 down in the 86th minute we would have gone, we'll snap your hand off absolutely for a point. And then obviously it looked like we had won the game. We all thought we'd won the game. And then they went up the other end and scored straight away from kickoff football for you. But it was a weird feeling on the way back, but it was a very memorable game.
Certainly been entertained.
Yeah.
Go on then, Andy.
Should I tick off the second on your list?
Go on then, yes.
I've gone Weston-super-Mare away.
Weston-super-Mare, lovely, thank you.
Aidan Elliott-Wheeler, I think, had his best game for us that day. At times, we ripped them apart in the first half.
Yeah.
It was him and Callum Watts who got the goal, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it's evenings like that. We sat before the game, and we had George with us that day as well. Came up with us, didn't he? And we talked to him. None of us thought we were going to get any. We would have been delighted with a point.
Yeah.
And I think we outplayed them that day. We looked and they were fighting still in the playoffs at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a fair few trips with Salisbury up to Weston, and it hasn't been a happy hunting ground for us, to be honest. But a previous visit, I think it was in the Cup. I remember we went there and we felt very unlucky not to have won it that day. And so great performance, and we got the result to kind of go with it that day, didn't we? And that was a really exciting one as well. Really exciting. It was just looking at the goal timings there. So they equalised on 80 minutes, and then Callum Watts on 86 for the winner. So
we were so good first half.
It's a good game, mate. That entertaining.
Yeah.
So I'm going to mention, and I think you've got this further down. I've just spotted it there.
I've got a specific moment from this game.
Okay, so the Torquay game. I just thought it was. It stuck in my mind. It was a good match, but not just that. I think most importantly for me was those fans over our right-hand shoulder. I think I was pacing up and down for most of the second half doing commentary because we had a bit of a space at the back, didn't we?
Yeah.
And a lot of nervous energy in me that day, and I was just wandering up and down. But it was just stuck in my mind. It was a good trip up there, a lovely stadium, and boy, what a surface. Just the whole package for me.
Well, for me, that was the game where I felt like we properly grew up and felt like we deserved to be in this league.
Yeah, we proved ourselves that day, didn't we? Yeah, it was a good game.
I mean, I was on the radio commentary listening because
you were listening during
the day my
car
car was in the garage and I was gutted to miss it, but from the radio.
Well, the good news is we get to go there again next season.
Yeah, exactly.
And another thing, we get to go back to was it Maidstone didn't stay up?
Maidstone losing out to. Should we pick this up off the floor for you? Cover that one up. Edit that out.
Leave it in. It's all good. It's all joy. Yeah, Maidstone, one of my favourite grounds as well. I think it was because we got a really nice welcome there.
Yeah, we did.
And I think Pete brought us a bit of food out from the hospitality,
and
which was lovely.
Good. It was good. It did cause a slight momentary release of wind live into a microphone.
Okay, I can't remember that.
I burped while we were doing commentary because of the food he gave us at half time.
Oh yes, I do remember that now. I do remember that.
Again, apologies to those who listened.
Yeah, no. I've done some silly things on the radio, but I've never done that.
I've never done it before, and hopefully I'll never do it.
Uncontrollable coughing, I've done that on the radio a few times. I've done that, but So, moments that stick in the memory.
I'm going back to that Torquay game.
Yeah.
That moment that Ronan Silvers, we'll call it a cross, flew into the top corner.
Oh, yeah.
And all we could hear from our right-hand side and all we could see down in front of us in the technical area was people who support Salisbury going absolutely mental.
Yeah.
That's going to stick in mind. Yeah, absolutely. There was limbs.
Limbs and scenes.
And we got a less bad reaction from our commentary and reaction to that than the Callum Watts goal.
Yeah.
Earlier in the game.
Yeah.
Because we got some really dirty looks.
Yeah. So anybody who's listening to us on the radio can hear the way I carry on, and I can't help it. It is literally, you know, this club runs through me, and it was just like, I went wild for that one. Quite often we're put in the middle of a lot of home support when we're away. And so, there's a few times this season I've had some absolutely filthy looks the way I jump around. But hey, as long as you guys enjoy listening to it at home, I don't care. I might end up killed one day, but we'll find that out the hard way. Toby, memorable moment that sticks in your memory.
I've gone for a bit of a different one, and I think it's more because it's got sentimental value. Because it was my first away game at St Albans. It was a lovely day. I really enjoyed the ground. It was a good game of football, but it was when Noah scored to put us 4-0 up, and I just thought, this is all a bit easy. Little
then
had
the
I
second half
known,
happened.
they scored 3 goals and made it very squeaky for us at the end there. But that moment sticks out particularly, along with the late moments in the Dorking game and others similar.
Cool. I've gone for the character. We're going back to that Weymouth game. The character showing to come back from 2-0 down at Weymouth. 2 worldies, wasn't it, from them? McCarthy's first, I think it was the first goal. Was it the first? Yeah. No, it was the second goal where it hit the crossbar and went down. That reminded me of Toby Yeboah's goal for Leeds. You won't remember. Check it out on YouTube, you'll love it. Just the way it hit the bar, bounced down and went out. Tony Yeboah was a little bit more impressive, but it was a bit like that. And yeah, Goody. Good chip, had an absolute blinder of a game. He played so well. I know he really wanted to beat us, but...
well, I think Weymouth probably had their best game of the season against us.
Yeah.
They didn't look like a team who were going to be relegated.
Not at all.
No.
They played like that all season. They'd finished comfortably mid-table. The way they played that day, they really played well.
They impressed me more than Slough, Bath, loads of teams that finished above us on that day. They were excellent. But so were we in patches.
Yeah, well, heroics. I was saying heroics in goal by Rhys Byrne as well. You know, I thought he pulled out a few outstanding saves in that game. I did watch the highlights to Roma myself, but I'm glad I did because there's some really, really nice clips in there. And Silva and Somerton's hint of an own goal. I think it was a massive deflection on it, but hey, it still
doesn't matter.
Still chalked down to Summy, and quite rightly. And I just thought it showed some character. They would have been quite demoralising, and I think they were already relegated, or certainly way down, weren't they, when we played them? And it would have been quite easy just to fold at that point. But no, the lads rolled up their sleeves and got a point out of it. I was very impressed with them that day.
Yeah, it was another great away following that day as well.
It was, yeah.
And that point, I think. That day, Enfield and St Albans drew 1-1 as well, so that was vital. That point in the end, staying out by the point.
Yeah,
point that kept us up, some might say.
Player of the season. Go on, Toby. You can have the first one. It doesn't matter if we have the same player.
I think we've
not discussed this.
I was going to say Callum Watts would be my first choice. Just the goals, the assists he injected in us when he joined. I think, like the Western goal, there was 3 points there. A couple worldies as well. He can finish from long range. It stands out for like joining us a couple months into the season. I think he really did a lot to keep us up with his contribution. So
settled in quickly as well, didn't he? Just got on with it. Yeah, yourself?
I'm going to go Jordan Regay.
Yes.
I think he's been a constant. I think he's been one of the best left-sided players that I've seen in the league this season.
I would say not always played in his position he'd rather play in.
He'd prefer, I think, to be further up the pitch some of the time. But he's been good defensively, and some of the assists that he's delivered. That one at Dorking will stand out for a long time. Great low ball into the near post for Josh Hedges to flick home. But he's been up and down that left-hand side all season. He's played more minutes than anyone else.
Yes.
He's played 50 games this season for the club.
Wow. Yeah, that's done.
Whilst injured as well for some of that, and still put in an absolute shift.
Yeah, I mean, I've waxed lyrical about Jordan on commentary several times because I love his work rate. On and off the pitch, he's more than happy to dig in and get on with it. And I'm not at the club all the time, but I do see little glimpses and hear little things about players, and he very much impressed me. I went with Mr. Dependable, and we never take him for granted. I think somebody did say that once, and I think I bit back mildly on Facebook. It was all meant in fun, but yeah, Josh Somerton. We have to stop ourselves mentioning him sometimes in commentary because he is just Josh. He just does it every time, doesn't he?
He's a beast.
He is.
Absolute beast of a player. Mr. Consistent.
Yeah, I think, considering he's playing at our level, and I don't want to tell too many scouts this, but and you expect mistakes at this level. I think I can probably count on certainly my fingers how many mistakes he's made this season, and he's recovered from the majority of them. So it doesn't happen very often. Not many people get past him.
No, I think there's a few who deserve special mention. Rhys Byrne certainly.
Yeah.
Sam German. If they'd had full seasons at the club, they'd be right up there. If they'd had that level of performance all the way through the season.
Yeah, having gone through a few keepers this season, it was great to see Rhys Byrne come in and just take control. Again, I'm sure he'll say he wasn't perfect, but hey, who is, especially at this level? If he was perfect, he wouldn't be playing for us.
And at his age as well.
I thought it was fantastic.
The amount of points that he won us this season with his brilliant shot stopping and handling from crosses too.
Reactions are amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can
And Sam German.
get down low quick. You can still do that. I can.
Sam German's got a decent career ahead of him, I think, based on what we've seen for. Has he played 5 or 6 games for us? Felt like more.
But he won Player of the Month, didn't he? One of them
twice,
months.
I think.
Was it twice? Yeah. He was phenomenal, especially for a 19-year-old. Although he don't look it because he's a big lad. But
supporters took to him very quickly, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They liked
he settled in very
Not
quickly.
often a lone player gets their own chance that quickly.
I think we've seen a lot of lone players come through this club, and some of them will think it's below them if they've come down from the higher leagues. We've seen that a few times, not very often, thankfully. But some of them, they just really kind of, okay, we've got the shirt on. This is me now. And just kind of absorb what's going on around them. And that's exactly why their gaffer has sent them to this club, is to do that. And if you've got the right attitude, it can be beneficial to all involved.
And you speak to all of them, and every single player who's been in this season has said how much they've enjoyed being here and playing here, especially those two we just mentioned. Reece Burns' entire family has made trips down for games. Sam German's parents have come for games, and
Noah's parents come every match.
And they love it, and they love being here. And even returning former players, Luke Ruddock was saying when he was here with Hampton and Richmond how his fond memories of this club still stay with him now.
Does that affect the club, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. He only turned up to help part-time.
And now he's turning up branded, look.
Yeah, he loves it. He's loving it. It happens to us all. Hopes for next season. This is this is one of the biggest questions, I think.
Well, I'm hoping I win the Euro Millions tomorrow night, and then we can fix a few things, can't we?
Yeah.
The hopes are, I think Brian has learnt a lot. Mr. Dutton has learnt a lot over this season. He's mentioned it a couple of times that he'd either not realised or forgotten how demanding Tuesday, Saturday is.
We had a long run of that,
on a
didn't
squad.
we?
Yeah, we did have a long run. And that's when I think we started to drop off post-Christmas, still being in the FA Trophy too. So we had extra fixtures, having to go to Aveley on a Monday night instead of going to play them on the Saturday. There was 2 long trips to Kent and Essex in 3 days.
Aveley,
it was hard going, and the extra travel.
A lot more travel. And just the demands on players, and just that extra bit of pace, the extra bit of quality in this league. We needed a bigger squad. Yeah.
I don't know if we could have afforded a bigger squad with the same levels of quality. But my hopes for next season is we get that balance more right than we did this season.
Well, hopefully a lot more sponsorship.
Yes.
Listen, Salisbury, come on, get on board. It's now is the time. We're on the wave and we're still on it, so we're going to enjoy it. Toby, hopes for next season?
I think realistically, with the budget we're probably going to have at this point in speaking, I think stay in the league, but a little bit more convincingly would probably be my goal. Obviously, you don't want to plateau, you want to kick on a little bit, but it is not that simple in this division. And with the teams coming up and the teams coming back down in the league, it will be another season where everyone can beat everyone.
It looks tough again, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, mid-table would be a massive achievement. So if we could aim for that, maybe. But I guess staying up would be the main goal, just a little bit more convincingly than the last day.
I think you could probably say the league's got harder.
Yes, I think it has.
Because you've got some massive clubs coming down into the league from above,
and some big spenders that have come up as well.
Big spenders coming up.
Yeah, I'll put any improvement would be great. If it's one position, I'll be very, very happy. If we survive, hey, I'll be chuffed with that. But moving forwards, mid-table, it's a huge ask, isn't it? It is a huge ask. But yeah, that would be probably a dream scenario. I've just put a message in my note there saying, some of the torrid luck we had this season at times. You know what? That's, they say it evens out. I don't think it did, to be honest, this season. And I think certainly, I don't want to be too generous. At least maybe 6 points we've lost out on. Probably more. I'm thinking I'm being a bit conservative there, but yeah, a few points I got away from us either. I don't want to mention the officials, but injuries as well, all kinds of bad luck that we did have. That if that irons out next season, that could make it. That could be mid-table.
Could be, and I think that might be the difference. I would look at the 2 Bath games, league games especially. There wasn't a lot between the 2 sides. We could have easily won those 2 games, but they had a little bit more luck than we did. Especially away at their place, we didn't have any luck at all that evening.
No.
just need to be a bit more clinical sometimes as well, and make our own luck.
Yes, yeah.
I remember the Hornchurch game in October. I think Noah got a goal ruled out. It was a perfectly okay goal. We've seen it on the replay after. That cost us 2 points, and then we also, I think, a couple goalkeeping errors that day when we were chopping and changing keepers frequently.
We saw a few like that though, didn't we? Because up in the press box we have the luxury of being able to wind the action back a little bit. It takes about a minute or so to come through, but we tend to see things a minute or so later that's just happened. And the amount of times that clear through attacks have been given offside, things like that. Blatant fouls have been got away with, etc. It's quite shocking.
It is. It's
as I said, I don't want to.
Refereeing's the hardest job
it
in
is
the world,
very hard.
isn't it?
It is hard. So
and if we're having to rely on a replay and being able to pause it and slow it down, and we're still unsure, that's how hard the job is, isn't it?
Indeed.
But
we're happy to advise them from up in the press box. So.
We are.
If only they listened.
Yeah. Sometimes we do try and communicate down.
We were never this generous on a match day, but give them a bit of.
Official might get a few. Rings in his ear.
Heat of the moment, we're a bit different. Okay, if you were manager, what would your plans be for players?
I think I'd be looking at a consistent squad of around 22 rather than the 17 or 18 that we had this year for the majority of the time. I think we need to find someone who can do that role that Dan Fitchett has done so admirably for the last couple of seasons, but who's not, I think, I'm not misspeaking here, at the end of his career. Dan's been a brilliant service to this football club. He scored some crucial goals. Lovely bloke as well. Scored some crucial goals. The first player to reach 100 goals spanned across both clubs. Obviously there's players who scored more, but he's been in some of the most iconic games. The two football clubs that have been at the Raymac, and we need to replace him with a younger
Fitch.
Yeah.
Could he find a time machine and
maybe
bring his younger self back? Yeah, no, absolute servant of the club, as you say, and a wonderful gentleman who I've had the pleasure of knowing for about 8 years. He's always happy to play up on the camera and stuff like that. When if you're at training, you get the camera out. He's happy to play the fool still, but he's grown up a little bit. I've got to say, these last few years, he's older and wiser now.
He may well be a dad by now. I'm not sure when that's due to happen. I know it's imminent. And we should mention towards the end of last season, Jordan became a dad as well.
He did.
Congratulations. A week and a half before the end of the season.
It's an exciting time. It's a great club to be in, but my goodness, it is tiring. Your plans. What if you were Mr. Dutton now? You'd be a good foot taller, but what would your plans be for the season?
I think with recruitment, it's vital to get the right type of, not just player on the pitch, but person sort of to fit the team and fit the morale. I think obviously it's easier said than done, but you want the person who wants to come to Salisbury and wants to play for the badge, and I think that's the main thing, because if you get players like Dan Fitchett who come and play for the badge, they're going to give their all every week, and those tough grinding Tuesday nights in January, you're going to get the players that want to be there. They're going to pull their sleeves up, pull their socks up for the club, and
very good point. Yeah. It's a very good point. Yeah, I mean, I've seen great squads of player have one bad apple, and it spreads. It's very strange. But our best squads, which have probably been the last few years, have been very together, and that makes a huge difference. Yeah, really good point. I mean, I don't have much to add to that, to be honest. I know the gaffer and Cal work very hard. Although I think Gaffer's talking to a panda in Egypt at the minute, but he will be back.
That's Callum, I think.
He will be, rolling his sleeves up very, very soon. And I know how many players they speak to. I know how many players they go and see. It's no mean feat what they get on with, isn't it?
So kind of tied in with all of that, I think one of my hopes for next season is we get more backing from local businesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come and join because it is a community. Just speak to some of our other sponsors.
Yeah. Complete Construction Salisbury. Speak to him.
Yeah, speak to Martin from Complete Construction.
He's obsessed. He loves it.
He loves it. He brings his family. He feels like he's part of the team.
Yeah.
The wider team that is not on the pitch. And also, some of the numbers are great. The website, social media, we reach fairly big audiences. So come
we do.
and take advantage of it, and come and join the gang.
I always think that this is small enough to still be seen as the local community, but it's big enough that you are going to get mentioned. It's not just a token gesture. Your branding is going to get out there.
It's 23 visiting clubs from across the south of the country. If you want to reach a regional audience, it's a good way to do it. Indeed.
I've got a few extra things I'd like to mention if possible. Firstly, the chairman, Ian Hammond, and his family, and especially his wife Helena, long-time servants to this club, and they do so much. You don't see a lot of Ian. He's not like the Tottenham chairman who likes to get out and in amongst it. He's quite quiet and reserved. But they do a lot. They do a heck of a lot behind the scenes. Andy will tell you, getting ready for games and stuff like that.
Here every Monday after a match, counting the money, doing all the sort of the admin of post-match. Here the day before a game, sorting out the exec box and doing all that sort of stuff.
They'll be out there.
Constantly on the phone to Jim and others in the office.
And not in a naggy way either. It's always very productive.
Checking things are all right, checking if everything's okay. Often checking if we need to have more money put in the bank as well.
There is that. I didn't want to be, that's your place to say, not mine. But he does. And he's I always found him such a wonderful and nice gentleman.
Such a lovely man.
Such a lovely man. Staff and volunteers as well, yourself included. Well, I guess that means us too as well. But I'm thinking of the people that are here, Tuesday club and Friday club, loads of people. If you want to get involved with that, get in touch with the football club. You can email Andy.
So for context, we filmed this on Monday evening, and out on the pitch today we had Trev, we had Ray, we had a few others out there with Pete, working on the pitch, getting it ready for seeding and aeration and all those sorts of things. And they'll be back again tomorrow, I'm sure, as well. Everything that needs doing in the club. Clean the toilets, if you made a mess in the toilet, somebody's got to clean that up. And they, I wouldn't say they happily do that, but they do turn up every week, twice a week at least, and do such things. Volunteers, sponsors, brilliant, excellent support. Keep bringing it. Tell your friends, tell your other sponsors. If you know other businesses around the area, tell them to come and knock on our door. And it costs less than you think.
It's very affordable, but if you want to put in more, that's brilliant. Finally for me, the supporters. I think we are blessed with a lovely core of, 400, certainly over 350 core supporters that will be here no matter what. And some clubs don't even have anywhere near that as a core support. Some clubs struggle to make that on the gate, even at this level. It's those supporters have been outstanding. Certainly the last few years, really got behind the project, and hopefully, I know it's tough at times. We were very honest. It's not always been the most entertaining, but stick with it because the project is ongoing, and we hope.
It's going to be a slow build. It's not going to be. We can't expect. We've not got someone with oodles of cash who's just going to go, boom, let's sign.
Unless you win the Euro Millions.
Unless I win the Euro Millions tomorrow night. Or I believe Gordon and Trev do it together as well. So
we all do that.
They're going to rename the stadium if they win it, though.
To me, that's very generous of them. Love that. A great touch.
But we need to build slowly. We're trying to improve things as we go. You've already noticed, those of you who rebooked your season tickets, we've changed the ticketing system, still using the same system but upgraded it slightly. We've got plans to do more next season with the media team. We're trying to keep Toby with us. We're not letting him go away even though he's finished uni. But we'd also like to add to the media team. If you've got some skills, whether it's Twittering, Instagramming, TikToking is something we
point one of these things.
Yes, that would be
one of these
really
lovely
useful.
cameras. If we import one of these things, keep it nice and smooth. We've got the kit. We've got some great kit to do it with. It'd be great to have a few people on board, and
like to do more of this as well.
But we do want to do
supporters involved.
We do want to do more of this, and like you say, get some supporters in as well, get guests in. It'd be great to do this maybe once a month, maybe next season.
And open the bar at the same time.
That'd be a grand idea.
And
I'm all up for that.
Then I can have a pint of something instead of a pint of water.
I've just seen that on the bottom. Very good point. I'll let you go for that.
How can we make things? What do you want to see at the football club? How do you want to make things better? That could be pre-match, could be post-match, could be during the match. We've got some plans for half-time next season where we're going to try and give away some prizes with a bit of a half-time challenge, which I've not told Ian he's running yet.
I knew that was coming.
Assuming he's coming back next season to do the PA. But what can we do from the media team? We want to improve the highlights next year, but we do need a camera operator to be able to do that.
Yeah.
All three of us are
It'll
already
make a
busy on match day, whether it's doing Twitter updates, whether it's organising highlights and writing match reports, or doing the PA or commentary from away games. If we had someone who could just point the camera at the pitch instead of the automated camera, we've got 4K cameras. We can elevate
we can.
the highlights, put some nice graphics on them, and we've even got the technology where we could put instant replays on the screen within a minute of the goal going in if we want to be able to do that. But it needs people to do that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we've only got so many fingers, hands and stuff.
Time.
But yeah, if you want to get involved, email me, andy@salisburyfc.co.uk. We'll put it on the screen. Because we've got the technology to do that too.
If I do, hang on, where am I there? If I go, there you go, you can do it. There you go.
Oh no, you've challenged me. I'm going to do an animated graphic. Hang on, I'm just going to put it on the bottom.
Just in case you can't do that. There you go, that's an easier idea.
But yeah, what do you want to see from us? What would you like to see on our social media channels? What do you want to see happen before the game? Yeah, within reason.
Yeah.
What I'd love to see next season is something media-wise not created by us.
Yeah.
And that would be more fan content, but with our role at the football club, we can't really get too involved with a fan TV channel.
There's been talk
like
of it before, but yeah, it's never really happened. And you know, I think we're a big-ish small club. So yeah, it's a bit, you know, we can't have Arsenal TV and whatever rocking up, but you know, it would be great if there was fan content kind of coming out.
But we can facilitate it. We can lend kit, we can lend advice, we can do all that sort of thing.
Yeah, with full training given. Also on that, actually, the pre-match and half-time music, which I've kind of cobbled together, and I just Google what works at a football club. If anybody's got any requests, send them in. In fact, I might do a little something on Facebook at some point on the supporters page. That'd be quite good, just to get a load of kind of music requests.
I'll tell you what we could do. We could put a page on the website for music requests.
Yeah.
Band artist name. We'll give you a shout out.
Family friendly.
Yeah, there needs to be non-explicit versions.
And something upbeat. Nothing, you know. I don't want no Total Eclipse of the Heart. We need something with a bit of oomph.
Pump you up.
You get some power pulls with that.
Yeah.
Well, you could do, but no, let's not go.
Duts down on the touch like that.
You'd be all over it. Although me and Duts, big Fleetwood Mac fans, to be fair, so we could just play non-stop greatest hits of Fleetwood Mac.
Listen to Fleetwood Mac on the way here, actually. Yeah.
Oh,
good shout, well done.
Look at that. Who would think he was in his early 20s?
What's the old Formula One?
The Chain?
Yeah, that song,
Classic tune. And many of them, they
most famous bits, the last 40 seconds.
Yeah, where it just switches it up.
Anyway, we kind of diverted.
We have,
as we normally do.
We hope you've enjoyed this wee chat we've had, and as I say, if you do like it, we'll certainly consider doing it again. It's quite easy for us all, well, certainly me and you, to get here. He's got to come from a bit further.
Yeah, but you know me, I'm keen.
He's keen, Mr. Keeno. Here we go. So we'd love to do it again. Feedback. Thank you very much, that'd be great. And anything you'd like to get in touch about, andy@salisburyfc.co.uk if you'd like to add anything to that. But basically, thank you so much to everybody who supported the team. And we got quite a bit of support last season as well, which is lovely.
Which is lovely.
All three of us, well done on the commentary, well done on this, well done on that. Absolutely brilliant, and so thank you so much for that. A pat on the back is most welcome.
Commentary will return next season, still on Salisbury Radio Sport.
Commentary will be on Salisbury Radio Sport, and you can find me on Salisbury Radio on a Sunday night between 6 and 8, and this guy after 3 on a weekday. I never missed a chance for a plug.
Maybe we need to give Toby a show.
Yeah, I know.
Toby's Tuesday night sports show when there's no away game.
Yeah, we could do that. Well, you could do that, I can't. Right, that's it from us, I think.
That is it from us.
It has been an emotional season. Thank you very much.
If you're still here and still watching, thanks.
And goodbye.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers.